When you're a developer, the code editor or IDE that you choose is where you're going to spend most of your time when you work, so you tend to pick one that inspires loyalty. So when a new editor comes along, people will often ask, well, what's so special about this one? Why should I use it? The Z editor, now available for all three major operating systems, is being pitched by its creators as a next-generation code editor designed for high-performance collaboration with humans and AI. It's from some of the same people who created the Atom editor, which is no longer being developed. But unlike Atom, Z is being developed as a platform-native application in Rust instead of a web UI Electron-based app like Visual Studio Code. Now, Z is still an early stages project, but it's already built a devoted audience, so it's worth seeing how it shapes up against other editors in this space. Let's take a closer look. This is an instance of Z I've opened on a Python project I wrote specifically to try it out, a simple wiki program in Python that renders markdown files as HTML. At a glance, Z's layout is pretty familiar. We've got tabbed edit windows, we've got a sidebar for things like a project explorer, a file level outline view, a Git view, a project-wide search system, and so on and so forth. The top menu is hidden away unless you click the hamburger button, and by default, instead we have a way to switch between recent projects or switch between Git branches. Now, it's hard to demonstrate this in a video, but the overall responsiveness and speed of the UI is pretty impressive. Multi-megabyte text files open and render very quickly. A 25 megabyte JSON file, for instance, opens almost instantly and scrolls freely. If I tried opening this in Visual Studio Code, it would take noticeably longer to open up, and scrolling through it causes the editor to hiccup and hesitate. Now, most of us are probably not going to be opening gigantic JSON files as a matter of habit, but the point is that Z makes that much more use of the available resources on the system. Many common things are baked straight into Z, rather than being made available as extensions. Python support, for instance. There's syntax highlighting and linting available directly out of the box. And there's a fairly rich collection of extensions already available for Z, even at this stage in its development. I was even able to find one for the custom syntax highlighting used by Python, the Python package for compiling to C. One downside of its extension system is that you can't enable or disable Z extensions on a per project basis. They're either installed or uninstalled. And that might change in the future, but it's not guaranteed. One of the biggest touted features for Z is its custom edit prediction AI, something they made their own model for. Now, I have it activated for this project, so if I start typing a function that's meant to delete a page from the wiki, which I don't have yet, it does a remarkably good job of generating the code that I might need. Now, like any other generative model, the predictions can be very hit or miss, but you can tune its behavior to make it more or less aggressive in its suggestions, and you can also exclude certain types of files from suggestion if you want. You can also elect to have your code included in Z's training data if you set up an appropriate license for your project. The default is for it not to collect data. Now, right now, the native Z AI model is free to use up to a certain number of predictions, with paid usage after that. But if you want to configure some other LLM provider or external agent, you can do that. Z has support for connecting to just about every popular LLM. Another major baked-in feature is a collaborative editing system. If you connect to Z's collaboration server, you can open up a shared channel with other users and work in real time on a shared project's files, or just collaboratively edit a file hosted by the channel as a kind of real-time notepad. And right now, this feature is free to use, although there are hints that it may eventually also be turned into a paid feature. Now, I've only skated over the surface of Z's feature set here, but this should give you a little bit of a sense of what it's like. And if you're intrigued and want to try it out in your own workflow, you can now download binaries for Windows, Linux, and macOS immediately. And that's it for this episode. If you liked it, leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow Dev with Serdar and InfoWorld on Facebook, YouTube, and InfoWorld.com.